Hello, this is onlinerepairman.com, and this will be my first video in an iMovie tutorial series. Just a little bit about myself. I have a website, onlinerepairman.com, where I've posted several how-to videos on projects mostly around the house. Also a couple of videos on some Apple products, and my son's done a few videos on some gaming things. But when I started creating these videos, I found online information lacking for a basic iMovie user. So that's why I decided to create this iMovie series. I've also had some requests from friends and family to do something similar to this and start very basic and move on to advanced topics from there. So with that said, let's get started. With each movie in the series, I will show the previous movie and talk a little bit about it, talk about the current movie, what's going to be in it, and then talk about what's going to be in the next movie to try to give you an idea of what's coming up. Of course, there's no previous movie since this is the first movie. So I'm just going to talk about the first three videos and what I plan to do with each one. So in the first video, I'm going to have an introduction, which I've already done, talk a little bit about myself. And then we're going to go right into a quick Hello World video. So I'm a software developer by trade, and whenever you're learning a new software language, the very first thing you do is you create a Hello World program, which displays Hello World in whatever programming language you do. It kind of demonstrates how easy it is to create a program and get you started really quick. So that's the purpose of this video and the Hello World video, is to show you how easy it is to create a basic video in iMovie and to publish it. So in the second video, we're going to go into the different regions or panes in iMovie, talk about what each one does and what you do with each one. And then we're going to go over some different options to get content into iMovie. So your pictures, your movies, your music, how to get it in there, and then manage it so that you're not taking up all of your hard drive space. And then in the third video, we'll go over the different transitions that iMovie has and how to use those effectively. And then the different options to export an iMovie into either YouTube, a DVD. There's lots of different ways to export a movie depending on what you want to do with that movie. So that's what we're going to do for the next three movies. So let's get started with the first one. So here we are in iMovie. If you don't have iMovie up, or you don't know how to bring it up, if it's not in your menu bar down here, it's the little star called iMovie. If it's not down there for some reason, you can always go to your Finder, bring up the Finder, go to Applications, search for iMovie, and it should be the star. So you can bring it up that way if you don't know how to bring up iMovie. But here we are with iMovie open. This window should be all of your current projects that you have going. If you don't have any projects, this is your first time in iMovie, this will be blank. But let's create a new project for our Hello World movie. So just go up to File and say New Project, because we're going to create a brand new project. These templates over here we're going to go over in a future movie, but for now just pick No Theme. Let's go up and name our project. We're going to call it Hello World. We're going to leave everything else at the default. We'll go through all of these options in a more advanced movie. So just hit Create. That will create a blank project for you. It should be called Hello World. If you go back to your project library, you'll be able to see your Hello World movie in your project library. So double click on it again, and it'll bring you back into the movie itself. And at any time, you can just go back and forth between the project library and your movie. So here you are in a blank movie. So this is your workspace. This is what your movie will look like, the different frames in your movie. These windows down here, we're going to go into more detail on them later, but there is the content that will go into the movie. So for now, let's just create a little introduction for our movie, and we're going to use text to do this. So if you bring up the text options, it's the T over here, so it's called the title browser. Let's do some centered text, so it's the very basic centered text. Let's drag the box up to our movie, drop it in the very first option, and then you have an option for some backgrounds. Let's go with a basic blue. You can go with a different option if you want. And let's title this. You can just start typing here, Hello World, and click Done. Now, you've created this, and now this is it defaults these text blocks and the background to 4 seconds. So you've created a movie. So if you go to the very beginning of the movie and you hit your space bar, you'll see your movie play. It's playing for 4 seconds. There's not much action to it because there's no changes, or there's nothing for the next window to go into. So let's create another text box, and let's do this one a little flashy. Let's do some drifting text. We're going to add that. We could add it before the box we did, which would be here. You see the little green bar show up. If we were to let go of our mouse right there, it would drop it there. But we're going to do it after, so we're going to drop it right there. Let's do let's stick with blue, and let's type, this is our first movie, and click Done. And again, the default is 4 seconds. So now we can play our movie again. So go to the very beginning of the Hello World box, hit the space bar, and you can watch in the window pane, you can watch your movie being played. So it says Hello World, this is our first movie, and that's it. So that's how you do text boxes. And if you don't like, well, we'll go into more detail later. We're going to be very basic today. So now we need some content for our movie. Let's go out and find some pictures. So let's open up Safari, and let's just go to Google and search for cute animals. Let's go to images, and when I'm finding images for my movies, I always want large or high quality pictures. So I'm going to go to search tools, I'm going to go to size, I'm going to go to tell it large, because I only want large pictures that will show up clear in my movies and won't be pixelated. So it shows me several cute animals with large file sizes. So I'm going to pick these foxes. They look cute. They're kissing each other. Click on the movie, or click on the image. Then I'm going to right click on the image itself. I'm going to do Save Image As. So it's going to download it to my local PC. I'm going to put it on my desktop, but I like to keep my desktop clean, so I've created a folder under my desktop called Temp, which I save all my temporary things to. Then I'm going to create a folder inside my temporary folder called, I'm going to say new folder. I'm going to call it Pics for Hello World. So that's going to create a folder. Again, in my desktop, under a folder called Temp. If you don't have a Temp folder, or you can always create a new folder at this level called Temp. And then I've put it in Pics for Hello World. So that's where I'm going to save my, they've called it random. I'm going to rename it Foxes. I'm going to save that. I'm going to go back to look at all my cute animals again. These cats look nice. Look, baby cat and a mommy cat probably. I'm going to click on that. I'm going to right click. I'm going to do Save Image As. My Pics for Hello World is already selected, so I'm just going to say Save for that. I'm going to go back. And these kittens, yeah, let's choose these kittens. So I just wanted to just let you know, these right here are thumbnails of an image. So they are not the high quality image itself. If you right click here and you did, if you tried to download this picture, if you did Save Image As on this photo itself, you're not going to get the high quality picture. These are thumbnails. So you want to click on the picture, let it bring up the website, bring up the picture, then right click on that, on the photo itself, save image as. My Pics for Hello World is selected, and I'm going to save. So 3 pictures is probably enough for our Hello World movie. So I'm going to close Safari. So right now, our pictures are not in iMovie. Our pictures are saved on our desktop. So what we need to do is get our pictures in iMovie so we can work with them. So there are a couple of ways to do this. We'll go into more detail later, but I'm going to choose the simplest method for now. So I'm just going to open up on your desktop somewhere. You have saved these pictures, hopefully. In my case, I saved it to a temp folder, and then I also saved it to a folder called Pics for Hello World. So there's my 3 pictures. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select my first one, which happens to be, let's do the foxes first since that was the order we downloaded in. And I'm just going to drag it over to iMovie. And again, that green bar shows up to show you where you're inserting the picture. You can insert it in between there, you can insert it at the beginning, but we're going to put it at the end. And there's your picture of the foxes showing up. It's 4 seconds. Let's go get our other pictures. So we have the cats. We're going to drag that over. And then we have the kittens, and we're going to drag that over. So we have 3 photos for our Hello movie. And again, they default to 4 seconds. We can go into that default and how you set that default in a later movie. But for now, let's just play our movie. It should be 5 times 4, 20 seconds long. So let's just watch it real quick. So you have the Hello World pane. We have this is our first movie pane. Then you have the foxes that are going to be showing for 4 seconds. And the big cats, which will show for 4 seconds. And the kittens, which will show for 4 seconds. So we'll go into, you see how the picture is moving. This is called the Ken Burns effect, named after Ken Burns, who's the guy who creates documentaries. It moves the picture for you, and we can control that completely. We can make it stand still. We can control where the starting and ending frame is for the picture, but it just kind of brings your slideshow to life. But for now, let's just leave it with the defaults. It's going to play for 4 seconds. Let's add some music behind it, because right now it's kind of just a lame little slideshow. But let's add some music, and so let's go out to the, so we already know what this is. This is to add text to your movie. This is to add photos to your movie for photos that you may have in iPhoto. And then this is to add music. So you probably have some music in your iTunes folder. What we're going to do is we're going to go to the iLife sound effects. So these, again, come with iMovie installed, or iLife really. And let's go down to Jingles. And there's lots of different jingles that they have for you to use, and you can see how much time they take up. So our movie right now is 20 seconds long, so we need at least 20 seconds of music to play. So let's listen to this one. It doesn't really sound like it goes with cute animals. Let's try another one. Catwalk seems appropriate. Since we have foxes and cats. So let's use catwalk. We have a catwalk short and a catwalk medium. Since we know our total for our movie is 20 seconds, we know catwalk medium is 21 seconds long, catwalk short is 15 seconds long. So let's choose catwalk medium. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take catwalk medium, I'm going to drag it up to the project, to the very beginning, and I'm going to let it go. And you can see it adds a green bar which represents the music into my movie. So if you go to the beginning of the movie and you hit the space bar, again, it will play our movie, but this time with music. So it just adds a little bit of excitement to our movie and a little bit of background. So let's add a little text box at the end, show that this is the end of our movie. So I'm going to go back to the text box area. I'm going to choose the centered, and I'm going to choose the blue again, and I'm going to say the end, and maybe a little thank you. Thank you. But you can see our music does not go to the end of our movie now. So if we start playing our movie, you can start playing your movie, by the way, anywhere in the movie. You just go to where you want the movie to be played from and hit the space bar, and it will start at that location. So let's start it right at the kittens, right in the middle of the kittens, and see what happens. So our ending box does not include the music, but we know that our music was 21 seconds. So we have another second of music there. We can expand this out, and you can see it goes out for one more second. It doesn't quite cover it. So what we can do is we can delete the catwalk medium. So click on the catwalk medium, and it should put a yellow band around your music. Hit the delete key. That should delete catwalk medium from your project. Go back down to your music, select catwalk long, and drag it up to the beginning of your music, the beginning of your project. Now you can see our music goes to the very end of our project. So one more thing we can do is just to add a little spice to our movie is we can add what are called transitions. So what we're going to do is click on this Transitions tab. It brings up several transitions, but I'm going to go into these transitions in a little more detail in a future movie. For now, let's select Cross Dissolve, and let's just add it between each of our selections in our movie. And what this does is this does not, as you notice, when you're adding these transitions, it does not make your movie any longer. Now let's watch our movie and see what happens between each pane. Not much difference there. Between the photos, you'll notice a difference. Kind of slowly, it's very quick, but it's a lot. It's very quick. You can see if you glide your mouse, you can see it slowly goes from one picture to another. So it's a little more pleasing to the eye than an abrupt change. So that's it for our Hello World movie. So now let's publish it. So if you have a YouTube account, let's just quickly do this. Let's go up to Share, YouTube, and put in your YouTube account information. Select the category. So this is probably going to be, how about pets and animals? We're going to call this Hello World, my first movie. I'm going to put in a description. My first movie, hope you enjoy. And tags are how people that are searching in YouTube will find your movie. So, oops, didn't realize I typed work. Hello world. So tags would be, let's try hello world, and then hello world, and then wow, and then first movie and cats, kittens. So if people are searching in iMovie, in YouTube, they'll find your video, hopefully. There's a lot of the parameters that YouTube uses to find movies, but these tags could help someone find your movie. Right now we'll make this available on mobile devices. We can talk more about these options later. And this checkbox says make this movie personal, so if it's personal, that just means it won't be available to the public right after you publish it. So let's uncheck this because I want the public to be able to see this movie, and you should hopefully be able to find it in YouTube if you search. And maybe I'll be able to, in a few months, I'll be able to search YouTube for Hello World and find all of you guys' movies. So, so just click Next, click Publish, and it'll start publishing your project. So I'll come back when it's done publishing. So as you can see, you get this window when it's done where you can view your video or tell a friend, which I think that's just to email a friend. But right now I'm going to click OK, and for the people that don't have a YouTube video, let's go up to Share, and let's say the best option I found is Export Movie using QuickTime. I'll go over all of these options in a future video, but for now let's do Export Movie using QuickTime. We're going to save it as Hello World. We're going to save it to our desktop. I'm going to put mine in my temp folder. You can save yours to your desktop, and just click Save, and it will create your movie for you. When that's finished, I'll be back. Okay, that finished. Now I can go to my desktop temp folder, open it up. I can see my Hello World movie now. I can play it. Double click on it. It will play in QuickTime. So that's it for the Hello World movie. If you did create a Hello World movie and you publish it to YouTube, please comment on this YouTube video and send me a link to your Hello World movie. I'd love to see them. And that's it for the first movie. Again, this is Online Repairman. Visit my website, onlinerepairman.com, for more videos like this, or some how-to videos. Thanks. Bye.